Okay, Lindsay, nice to finally virtually meet you.
I know. I feel like we've been talking for the last few weeks just about LA, and now we're paired together magically. And now,
Very exciting. I'm excited. Yeah, we've been talking for a little bit ever since I said that I'm going to be moving out west, and so yeah, why don't you start? Why don't you give us a good little bio about yourself?
okay, so my name is Lindsay. I have been playing Quidditch for six, seven, eight. I think this would be my eighth season. I've never counted. I played for Emerson College, and then I moved across the country, and now I play for the Lost Boys. I'm currently the captain of the Lost Boys. I've also played for LA Aftershock. I captained that. I've also played for LA Guardians the one year that I could have played for LA Guardians, and captained the USA team that went to Canada. Yeah, that's most of it.
Sweet. I have a quick question
Yeah.
before we get to me though, but I was just curious, like, what your thoughts were on like LA Guardians and like MLQ leaving the West, and like, cause like that was like relatively like early in my college career, and I always thought that was like kind of odd, and I was like, oh no, like the
Yeah.
entire West, and I knew I was gonna live there eventually. I was like, that's kind of a bummer. So like, what was that like?
I talked about this in the Hoopside Chat podcast too. I was really sad about it. Obviously, I wanted to play MLQ. I didn't really have the chance in Boston to do it. I was never like I was a beater when it was in Boston, and I also lived like almost 2 hours away in New Hampshire. And that's also not good, as I wasn't a good beater. So what I was sad that we lost our chance to do it. But when you have all of these cities that aren't even putting their best like set of talent out there because it's just too much work and money and etc. to play, it's hard. Like everywhere else, your closest city is like 2 or 3 hours away. For us, our closest city was San Francisco, which is like a 6 hour drive. So like, and then we were like, okay, go to Wisconsin, and it's like that could have been somewhere cooler and could have motivated some people to go. So I'm sad that it left, but it wasn't sustainable for us. I wish it was. I wish everyone had the time, money, and energy in the West to like commit to it. But when Salt Lake City Hive, my only year on Guardians, had a roster of 11 entire people going to
Oh
going
wow.
to the champ series, and then a flight got canceled, so they ended up with 7 and didn't field a team, and they like got like a fun extra game where they got to like merc with some Guardians and play against Kansas City. And it was just like, it's really sad, and I'm sad, and I would like love to have an MLQ team, but it doesn't work.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, I guess I'll intro myself. I'm Luke, Luke Meissner. I played keeper at the University of Texas on Texas Quidditch for, this will be this is my 4th year, but that kind of has like an asterisk on it because I didn't play. I got injured the very first play of the first game sophomore year. I didn't play that entire year. So I've really played 2.5 years, which is kind of crazy because I've been in the org for like 4. But yeah, I've been on Texas for a while, and I am moving to LA hopefully September 1st. And we'll be playing Quidditch out there in the club division, and I'm really excited about it.
I am, in theory, also really excited about you being in LA playing in the club division.
Can you like real quick, like what's the current club situation in LA?
The current club situation is the Lost Boys are doing our thing.
Mm-hmm.
Long Beach Funky Quaffles were a team, and they have decided to. It's like technically a dissolve and creating a new team, but like if you're looking at it objectively, it's more of just like a rebrand and changing leadership around because it's all the same play. Like it's going to be the same people playing for Long Beach that playing for this new team, and basically Anteater Quidditch, some of the alums from there wanted to just kind of continue playing AQ, our AQ, not your AQ, like post grad. So they have developed Anteaters Forever, which is literally that. It's a club team that is created for UCI grads.
That's really cool.
I'm not exactly sure if they're allowing people to play that aren't UCI grads. I'm assuming / hoping that they're like grandfathering in the Long Beach players that wouldn't have a team otherwise, especially because like they play south of us and some of their players are like in San Diego, and that's a very long drive to if they wanted to keep playing.
Yeah.
And then last year we had Diablos, obviously. As far as everyone knows, Diablos will not be returning as a team. I don't want to speak for them, but I have not heard anyone speaking that they're going to. They had like a leadership kind of crumble at the end of their season, and which is a lot of us projected it. They had a lot of egos on that team, and a lot of objectively great people. But a lot of those objectively great people had a lot of egos, and when you put that kind of together, it led to drama, which happened. So Diablos, I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what their players are doing. I've been talking to a few of their past players, and they're like, if Diablo's on our team, like, count me in. But that was like 3 months ago before all this COVID stuff happened anyway.
Yeah.
So basically, if you're looking at it, you have one place to go. But that can change. I honestly see the need for another LA team, but also don't want there to be. LA's never been a city that's been able to put all their talent in one place and compete. And I think that's kind of a driving force of why we've never gone past the Final Four. Well, in like the new era of Quidditch, we've never gone past the Final Four run. And I think that if Salt Lake City happens and we only have the Lost Boys or only have like one team and all of the talent that is in LA is on it, we have a very good chance of succeeding. So I would love to see that happen, but one team, we have too many people for one team. So
yeah, that's fair. But I guess that can kind of transition into like the first thing we want to talk about. And it's like regional biases. Like how do you view the West, and then how do you view the Southwest, and then I'll counter.
Okay, I'm gonna start with the Southwest first.
Okay.
I view the Southwest as a lot of people that live close together and have a lot of access to a lot of competition, which is very beneficial to them. I view the Southwest as people that hit very hard and take Quidditch very seriously. And that's it. I don't really have a lot of like friends or known people from the Southwest. So a lot of that just comes from like general team stuff. I have Doug and Azim now that both came from UTSA, and that's like most of my knowledge of what happens in the Southwest. And Azim is like, Cavalry does this, and I'm like, we're not gonna do that. So yeah, that's what I think of the Southwest, and I think they're very good at Quidditch, obviously, because they take it very seriously. And I wish some of us did sometimes too. But and then for the West, I think we are very fun. I think we do not have a lot of the same access to competition, which is a pain in the butt. If we want to play against the good teams, we have to beg them to come to LA, or we have to travel, which is difficult to do. I think we have great weather and great people. And I think compared to like when I was in Boston, we have a lot less drama than what I know of the Northeast region, what it was. So I think that's a good thing about us. I think we do not have our shit together when it comes to a lot of logistical things, like film. That's a big problem in the West. Those are my key takeaways from both of our regions.
There you go. I would agree with probably most of that. I guess I'll start with the Southwest as well. I will address like the film thing though. It's like, I feel like if we didn't have like Gary Taylor and like Tiger TV, like it would be like a very different story, because there really isn't a lot unless like Eighth Man or USQ at regionals like decides to film for us. So I think like that's like kind of, we're not honestly that good at it. We just have like one really, really committed guy, and like we love him for it. And like he does all these highlight tapes and everything. And it's really, really great. So yeah, that's just tough for someone to commit to all that and everything. But yeah, I think the way I kind of like view the Southwest is like, yeah, we very much have access to competition, especially in Austin, because like it's UT, AQ, Cavalry, Lone Star, Texas Hill Country, and so they're all like kind of in that area. And so we definitely like benefit from that, like UT specifically does, because we get like a bunch of community players into practice all the time, and they like scrimmage with us and everything. So yeah, I think we definitely have that. I'm trying to think, like, I guess like the Southwest also, I think there are a lot of really good rivalries in the Southwest, and they're like different every year, which I think is kind of fun. Like this year it's been like us and like UTSA, and then like last year and like the year before is like us and Texas State, and everyone has like their own, like every game seems to like really mean something to someone, and I really like enjoy that. But I haven't played in another region, so I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I think the West, I like, yeah, you guys seem like you definitely like have more fun, but like kind of like my interpretation of you guys is you seem to be more like tactical in a way, like not like, I think like your strategy sometimes is just so unique and like so effective that like that's kind of like what rings true. I don't know what it is, but just like we always like had a hard time like at nationals or like heroes versus villains playing against like Cal and UCLA and stuff like that. So I just always kind of saw that like you guys had like these unconventional play styles that worked really well in like national settings, at the college level that I've seen. So and yeah, you guys are also very fun. Yeah, like I've also been talking with Ryan Fenning a lot lately, and he's really cool. And I was really happy to be able to play against him and everything. So yeah, I love the West. I'm happy to join soon.
That's so exciting. Yeah, I feel like especially when you're comparing to like the Southwest or even the South, LA, and I guess the West in general plays never like a high contact game. I don't know why. We just never developed. Like I was watching our game against Terminus from HBI the other day, and I was just like, dang, like they hit us so much more than we hit them, but we passed so much more effectively, or like just set up X, Y, and Z play like that they weren't really doing because their strategy would just like hit hard and be fast, and ours was like, we're not going to hit and we're going to do all these other things instead, and we won 2 out of the 2 games we played against them. So something about it worked. But yeah, it is definitely very different, especially when you're comparing to like the heavy hitting regions, because we are certainly not that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't like, I'm trying to think of like different biases I have for like other regions as well. Like I think, I don't know, like I haven't played anybody in the Midwest. I played Grand Valley State at last nationals, but like I never played like a Michigan or like Miami of Ohio or anybody. But I don't know, like I think I was really excited for this year's nationals, like at the college level, because I felt like it was just so like up in the air. Like I had like no idea. Like I was excited because like after regionals we usually like do like a deep dive into like film of like other regions and stuff and like try and figure it out. And like this year it just kind of felt like it was like anybody's, and it was really exciting to like kind of like do that. But and I think that's kind of like what it's hopefully like going more towards, like as we get years and years away from like the split, that like it's just all these colleges kind of come into their own, and like it seems like it's like more even than like it has ever been, which is really, really exciting.
Yeah, I was excited to see some like things change up at nationals. I was also really excited for the like split for the college division, how they had like the open division, and coming from Emerson, who didn't qualify for like the normal develop, like I was so excited for them to go to open division and like actually get games where they weren't going to go like 0-4 and 1-3, and I really wanted to see that for a lot of these smaller teams, that like having nationals is such a great push and like community builder for these smaller teams.
Yeah.
The big teams that are good, they already know it's gonna be fun and they're gonna do well, and like you're gonna like hang out with your friends and stuff. But the teams that don't go, and or like you go and it's like, okay, we went 0-4. I paid all this money to be here, and I have to hang out day 2 and watch other people play Quidditch, and we don't get to anymore. And it like I've been there playing for Emerson, and it sucks. Yeah. I was so excited for them to finally have an opportunity to play like their version of competitive good Quidditch, and that got taken away too. But hopefully we'll see it this year. If it happens.
Yeah, I'm also really excited just like to go to like Salt Lake City. Like we've been very lucky that like nationals has been in essentially Austin's backyard for the past couple of years. But my favorite like nationals was my freshman year when we went to Florida, and like I don't know, like it was weird because that was I had no like desire to really win. It was just like, oh, we're going to like Harry Potter World on Friday, and like it's fun. And like it didn't like hit me until we lost in the Sweet 16 that like, and how much it mattered to the seniors, that like I was like, okay, this is kind of real. And so like then nationals kind of took on like a different thing. But like that first nationals, like as a freshman, like being able to do that, like that's what made me fall in love with Quidditch. Like regional tournaments are great, you meet a bunch of people, but like nationals is when you realize like this is like
how big it is.
Yeah, exactly. And so yeah, that was probably that. Honestly, besides last year, I don't know. I've only been to those two nationals, last year's and then my freshman year one. And so like that freshman year was a lot of fun. Like so.
It's also so fun to like travel with your team, and it's such like a different bonding experience. You're just like, okay, let's like hang out at someone's house, as opposed to being like, all right, we're at an airport and we're gonna go somewhere. It's a whole new city and we have hotel rooms, and like all of that is just such a fun thing to do. And Salt Lake City is beautiful. I've been there a few times now, and every time I go, I just like I love Utah. So I really, really want to go there, and I really want to go there with a great team, and I really want to do well.
Yeah, I would also like that. So we're on the same page. This is going.
Yeah. We're vibing, you know.
Exactly. Just sipping on a White Claw in some ice.
I was wondering if you just had like a cup of water with ice. So I like your innovation of taking a White Claw out of a can and putting it on ice.
I didn't have time to put them in the fridge, so it's not really my choice. But yes, just speaking of nationals, do you have any really fun? What was your favorite nationals memory of the years you've played?
I guess. I mean, going Final Four with Lost Boys is like objectively the best. There's no way you can like say that going to a Final Four round where you weren't really projected to or even really expected to is any better than that. We especially when like we lost our captain and star beater Cristito to an injury that day. So we were like, that was a big deal. Everyone cried. So I would say that's like objectively my best nationals experience. But actually, the year I went with Emerson and we went 0-4 day one. Day two, we all kind of like found some random teams to get invested in. It was also the year that was the year that QC Boston won. So we had a lot of friends on QC Boston. We were not doing anything illegal at the fields, and we were having a really fun time and like had our beverages going, and we were just like really made the best of like what was a bad situation, and like put so much heart and stakes into these games where we didn't really care or know anyone. Like one of my teammates got really invested into the Ball State storyline of being like a college team, and this was like before the split obviously, so they were going really far, and like cried when Ball State got knocked out. We had no relationship with Ball State, knew no one from like it was just a day that like we got to see the Lost Boys succeed, and we have a lot of Emerson friends who Lost Boys. We got to see QC Boston succeed. We didn't have any pressure on us because we knew we were going to be bad, and that was just like the most like family oriented nationals I played in. Like we just bonded. Like those memories are like so silly, but way better than like succeeding in Quidditch in my opinion. But every time I do anything with the Lost Boys is really great, and I love all of them. But that day when there's no pressure on you and you're really bad at Quidditch has its own perks.
Yeah, and I think just like nationals, just like that environment, just so like like you were saying, like being able to like pick a team and just like kind of cheer for them is just like so fun.
It is. It really is. What about you? But something great must have happened.
Of my nationals?
Yeah.
No, nothing comes to mind.
No. Single thing.
Yeah, I think I've got like a lot of like little specific ones. I mean, I think my first one, like seriously, that was definitely like, I'm not gonna say it's my favorite because we didn't win, but like that one was just like we got to travel, and I was a freshman, and I was really like searching for community, and Texas Quidditch just was like such like a good thing for me to get started in at UT, and there was like such like it was like so big with like the intramural stuff that we have, and then AQ, and then Texas, and it was just a lot of people to meet. And so that nationals, I got really close with like my current best friends on the team, and like traveling together and everything. But yeah, when we lost, it was kind of like, I understand why this is so important to these people, because we put in like so much time, like more than most, and like there's this like expectation or whatever. And then so I was really excited to go into the next year and like like bring it home. And then first game at Bruins in the Brazos, I tore my ACL on a very illegal hit, I will add. I won't say the team, but it was diving below the knee, and it was contact below the knee, and it was also diving, impeding someone else's motion. So that's like two no-nos, and there was no card, and so it was whatever. I'm not bitter about it. I have a video of it. I watch it sometimes. It's scary, but anyways.
The rest just to say the team.
All right, I guess it's not like
team and not the player.
Yeah, all right. It was Stephen F. Austin, and I haven't played them in a long time. I don't know if they're still a team. I haven't seen them in the Southwest in a while, but yeah, it was them. And it was also the first tournament, so like I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt that like they're still learning the rules, and like yeah, if it's like you got someone coming from basketball or football, like you're gonna dive on a loose ball. That's fair. But yeah, anyways, that nationals, like I still went to like support, and like when we lost in the championship to Rochester, it was just I was gonna quit. I was gonna quit Quidditch after I tore my ACL. Like I was done, because if I got hurt again, like the financial repercussions and like the PT, like I did not want to deal with. But then when we lost, it kind of like motivated me to like come back. And also my friend Michael Johnson Jr., who I've been plugging a lot lately, he also has always asked me to come back. And so, yeah, I think my favorite nationals was freshman year, and then when we won the next year, because it was just like this really long journey, this really long process, especially like for me to like come back and everything. And it was also crazy because we like arguably graduated like the best player, like each position, like top players at each position in the country. Like we lost like Hallie Pace and like Eddie Molina, Cullen Friday, Nick Marino, and it was just like, and we were like, okay, like I'll come back like just to have fun, but I don't think we're gonna win anything. And then we just got like this amazing freshman class with like JJ and Casey Beavers and Davis Rowe, and so yeah, it was really just a really good time, and I was looking forward to Salt Lake City this year because it was a chance for us to travel again. But West Virginia this year.
Yeah.
And Salt Lake City next year with Lost Boys, right? That'll be fun.
It's gonna be so much fun. You have no idea.
That's gonna be that'll be my favorite nationals memory. The next year's.
I'm holding that to you. I will report back to everybody to let everyone know if it was actually Luke's favorite. I have to say, I like obviously going to a finals round and losing must like suck, especially if you're on the sideline. But I love watching any Texas team lose in a final to a Northeast team. Like seeing Rochester win. Like I'm not even like a Rochester fan. I love Bassam. I'm like close with him, but I don't really know anyone else on the Rochester team. But to like see a Northeast like team pull off a win against anyone in Texas, like for a title, that was a really great day for me.
Yeah, I believe it, honestly. Like it like took some adjusting to. Like when I was a freshman, like how much, like even in the Southwest, people are not like a big fan of Texas. And it was my first tournament freshman year. We lost to UTSA in like my very first game, and like everybody like stormed the field, and I was like, whoa. I was like, that's crazy. And everyone was like, yeah, this is kind of like what happens. And I was like, oh, all right. But yeah, like Rochester was so good, and yeah, it just hurt to watch from the sidelines, but they played so well, and it was like the most electric game I've ever been to.
So it was crazy. Like being in the stands for that game was wild.
Yeah.
It's just hard when like you're good at something, and then when you're good at it, it's just like boring to watch. Like last year's finals when it was like Heat versus Calvary, I was like, this is objectively an amazing game of Quidditch, but I don't like. These are both two great teams with great people. Two teams everyone knew it was going to be them. This isn't exciting, and like I feel bad saying that because I know everyone on those teams are putting so much like work and effort and love into like what they're doing, but I'm just like, I would like to see other people succeed. The Nexus like gets bad for a little bit, like the entire state of Texas. If they get bad for a little bit and then come back for redemption, that'll be super exciting. But they're not gonna. No one in Texas is gonna be bad at Quidditch anytime soon. So.
Yeah, I honestly like completely agree because like I rewatched that like club final a lot just because like we have like so many alumni on both of those teams, and it's like exciting to like cheer for both of them. And we cheer for Cavalry a lot because like they're super helpful, a lot of Texas alumni, but like yeah, like it'd be really exciting to like not have that happen.
Yeah.
Again, Lost Boys, 2021. But
Let's go.
yeah, I completely agree. And like, it's like, I don't know, I really enjoy like playing in close games also. And so like, it's really like stressful, especially because how much the snitch matters in USQ rules and everything. And so, yeah, I don't know, like I am excited. That's why I was so excited for this year, because I figured it's just going to be like so close across the board. Anything could happen. Like NYU's story last year, like that was amazing. That was incredible. So I was excited, but yeah.
Even Cal going as far as they did was like unexpected. Yeah. Like I love like I have nothing against Texas or Texas people or anything. It's just like we know that you're good. I would like to see other people be good too. But
that's fair.
Speaking of like how much the snitches were, something else that we talked about talking about was like what changes you'd like to see in USQ. Like whether they're comparing to MLQ rules or what I don't know if you read the new IQA rulebook changes, but they're wild, very unexpected.
Can you break down some of like the major ones for me? Because like I read a little bit of it, but I don't know what like there's something about like defensive seeking and
yeah. So there's something about like the turnover with third bludger interference, and I won't lie to you, I'm very bad at reading those things. I don't really understand them until I can see them in person. But it's something to do with like turnovers and stuff that's apparently a big deal. The other things are like basically a snitch like can't take advantage of a defensive seeker, like using them to help. Like you're not supposed, like you know how a snitch will like guide a defensive figure as like a wall. That I don't think can happen anymore. But then what I think is the wildest thing is the new brooms up, where IQA players are now. There's going to be one bludger at one keeper zone, one bludger at the other keeper zone. The quaffle is still in the middle of the field, and one bludger like halfway between the mid pitch and like the like sub line. And then two chasers are starting on the mid at the bludger that is like on the half court line, and then everyone else is starting on the like sub line, and
that's crazy.
It's wild. And like the change happened because of like safety and brooms up, and so now it's just like two chasers going after one ball, and then like one beater on each side going after the one in their keeper zone presumably, and then two beaters going after the one like other open bludger. It's wild. I'm curious to see how it goes. And then they've also changed it, so it's going to be like set score, except it's only set score if the team that's losing catches the snitch. Okay. And if the team that's winning catches the snitch, it's just game over.
Gotcha.
Something like that. I think that one just makes it more confusing to explain to people. Like, if this happens, as opposed to just like straight set score, is like first person to hit this wins, as opposed to, but now it's like if they catch the snitch, then they keep playing in like this fake overtime thing to get a few more points, and then if the winning team catches the snitch, then they just win. So I don't know. It's interesting, but anyway, back to the USQ. Like, what do you want to see like change?
That's a really good question. I had never played MLQ. This year would have been my first, and so I was excited to kind of like see what that was like. I really like set scoring, like because I watched a lot of MLQ last year, and like I like that concept. I don't know. I think I would advocate for set scoring, and then I'm kind of also on the side of making 3 max mandatory. I really like 3 max and what the Boston Pandas are doing, and I would rather like all of Quidditch be like that, and that be kind of like a requirement. I think that's because like it seems like we like when we're advertising Quidditch, we treat it as like this very inclusive like environment and everything, but then like you're almost like encouraged to not make like the ratio even. And so like I would just love to make it even between male and female and gender nonconforming players. And I think 3 max would just be just a lot more fun. I think it would be better, in my opinion. I think that's kind of like the main change that I would advocate for.
I agree. As a female in this sport, I love the concept of that, and I love what the Pandas are doing. I love that Lulu and Grace are like taking charge, and Grace I love everything that's happening there. My only issue with it is like some teams really struggle to recruit females, or a team like Emerson. Emerson has, for whatever reason, like 4 males on their team and like 10 female or non-binary players. And like they couldn't do that rule because their male players don't fit the minimum requirement. Like they have played games where they've had 2 men on the field, and that's it. So that's all. Like that's gonna affect like some smaller teams that are like having issues with recruiting and stuff. So I totally agree. Like I love the concept of it when it gets to like the logistics of managing like your recruitment and like needing like sports are directed at men, and that's why it's easier to get men to play Quidditch. Like period. In my opinion, at least. So. I would love to see that, but I would love to see it without any of the other issues that would come along with it. I also really want 2-arm tackling. I am not very good at, we have 1 minute left. I'll break this very short. I am not a good tackler. The West isn't good at tackling. I'm not it's not my skill set is making contact. I've done it a few times, and every time I do it, I'm like, sound the alarms. I need to tell everybody that I know that I made a hit, and it like led to something happening. It was a huge deal. But with 2-arm tackling, I can do it. Like I can make a hit, and I can connect and like I can bring someone to the ground. And that's really rare for me. So I think it kind of evens the playing field, and it's also way safer. Like heads aren't getting involved. You have a lot more control of where you're going to fall. I've done 2-arm tackling in 1 fantasy tournament. And then technically when we did the like Quidditch, Western Championship Quidditch, our like fake MLQ, I think we had it there, but not people used it just because it's like still just hard to like get in the habit of it without training for it. But when I have done it, I've been like, fuck yes, like I can bring a person to the ground with my body, and I can't do that with 1-arm tackling. So really like to see that happen.
There you go. Yeah, I think like in theory, like I've prided myself in not doing a lot of tackling. If a chaser gets close enough to me past the keeper zone, it's like, hey, I don't know what I can do. So I kind of like I take like a swipe, and then like I set aside. But yeah, like from like an offensive perspective, yeah, it would be a lot harder, I think, to drive against someone. And I think it would be pretty cool. But again, like I haven't tried it yet, but I think that'd be sweet.
I really like it. I'm a big fan, big supporter of it. It's like if I'm on defense and someone's like driving at me, I try to like get in their way, and then they'll just like run through like one of my like noodle arms, and then they go and score. And I'm like, well, I did what I could, but if I could just like hug them, I think I have a better shot of making an impact on the play. But we'll see. I thought that they were going to implement it after they had so much positive MLQ feedback, but they didn't do that. So we'll see if it ever happens. I see like why not, but I don't know.
I think, but regardless, as we wrap this up, I think we should make a Lost Boys guarantee for the next. We're gonna say if I were to join Lost Boys, I think we can say Lost Boys Club Final 2021. All
right, sign me up for that. I have dreams about that happening. I would like to promise that to everybody. We'll see who else I can get on board with that one. Azim's gonna watch this and be like, yeah, Azim loves.
If we can play safely, I think this like soon. I think with Lost Boys being one of the more solid teams in Club Quidditch, I think we can consolidate that West talent and really make some.
I think we have a lot of, not to like toot the horns of the West, but if everything goes as planned with the rumors of people returning and etc. happening, and especially if Diablos don't come back and I get some of those players, I I think this is a very real possibility, but everything may crumble in front of us and no one may come back and the season may not even happen. So we'll see.
Yeah, that's true. When it does. Yeah, I've got some pent up, not aggression. I've got some, I feel like I have things to prove since the all-timer draft. And so I'm very excited to like go into club and play with someone other than Hill Country Hate and Cavalry and prove that, yeah, whatever Southwest, you know, it's about the West now.
Oh my God, Luke, I love this energy. Do not do anything to leave me. I will be very heartbroken. If any opportunities come up, do not take them. No, this is, I'm stoked, and I hope everyone is watching this and scared of what the Lost Boys are going to pull off this season, because no one ever thinks we're going to do anything. And sometimes we don't, like this last season, it was bad. We didn't even make bracket play because we like lost our whole team. We're like, we're going to have a rebuild year. And it indeed was a rebuild year. Like it was a tough season. It was, it was a dark time. But since then, this past season, we did really great. And beat Terminus twice, had overtime games with Bosnia, we had some real shots and doing some cool things at Nationals. So I'm really sad to see that that's not going to happen. But next year, we got this. When Luke becomes a star, would he recruit Michael B. Jordan to play Quidditch? You have a connection with Michael B. Jordan?
No, I don't. I'm an actor, and that's like.
Oh, that's what he's. Oh.
I'm moving to LA, and so that if I were to ever meet Michael B. Jordan, I probably would never tell him that I played Quidditch. But
I love Michael B. Jordan. That'd be great.
Yeah, that'd be great. But like, if we got close enough, I'd be like, hey, come with me one Saturday, and we go to the Lost Boys.
Let's hang out as the bros that we are. Just trust me.
Bros that we are. You know, just I know you're training for Creed 3, but just like come on over to this park, and then he'd take one look, and he'd be in. He'd be in as well.
I think so too. He seems like an open-minded, fun kind of guy.
Yeah, I would agree.
Thank you, all of our fun viewers, for joining us on the cast. I'm really stoked to get paired with Luke because I have been both bullying him and encouraging him for the last 3 weeks about how whatever I can do to help make his transition to Los Angeles easier, because I need him so badly. And so far I think it's working, and as I think we can tell here, I have some great energy, and I think we're going to be best friends.
Agreed. So. And yeah, Lindsey has been amazing. She just like not in like just like Quidditch sense, like I've had questions about moving, and it's been very helpful to have a resource in LA. So I really appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Of course.
And I'm excited to go to a Lost Boys tryout / practice and just like play Quidditch again, because it's been.
Yeah, I want those to happen soon. This is the longest I've ever gone without playing Quidditch, and I am like twitching. Like I really, when I came to the West, I was like a nobody. Like no, I was a very bad beater, and I was like, I guess I'm gonna go keep playing Quidditch with the Lost Boys. Like I didn't matter at all, and now I'm doing so many things, and I'm so excited, and I'm like a captain, and I like want to see change and accomplish things, and then a pandemic hit, and it's very inconvenient to what I'm trying to do with my life. But
it's fair, but you've accomplished so much, and it's gonna materialize. Hopefully, like this season, that we can like get back to playing, and like it's gonna be great. It's gonna be so much fun.
I hope you're right. I'm really excited. I'm excited for you to get here. We're gonna hang and drink some White Claws, and it's gonna be great.
Love that. I'm so down. Well,
okay.
Thank you so much for chatting with me, and thank you to the cast for pairing us together. Very fun. Really enjoyed it.
Well, we'll see y'all later. Thanks for tuning in, and thanks to Hoopside Chats, or whatever this project is now going to be called under a higher umbrella.